Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes. So today we are going to learn about what is business administration, what is difference between business administration and business management. First of all, we covered what is the business or concept of the business. Okay. The word business means the state of being busy. It means generally the term business includes all human activities concerned with earning money. And also, in other words, it is called business is an activity in which various persons regularly produce or exchange goods and services for mutual gain or profit. The goods and services produced or purchased for personal use are not included in business. Here are some definitions which are given by famous authors. One by one, we will see. First is defined by L.H. Haney. They are called business may be defined as human activities directed toward providing or acquiring wealth through buying and selling of goods. Next definition, which is given by James Stephenson, that is, every human activity which is engaged in for the sake of earning profit may be called business. And third definition, which is defined by B.W. Wheeler, just 2 minutes. स्क्रीन दिसते माझे सगळ्यांना?
मॅडम
आहे
स्क्रीन
मॅडम.
शेअर होत नाही. तुम्ही शेअर केला तरी चालेल. पहिल्यांदा स्क्रीन शेअर करा मॅडम. शेअरचा ऑप्शन आहे बघा. शेअर
Just a 2 minute. So student, here we covered the some definitions which are given by famous authors, that is Hanning, James Stephen, and also B.W. Wheeler. Okay. Uh, B.W. Wheeler what say? It's an institution organized and operate to provide goods and services to the society under the incentive of private gain is a business. That is, business administration in simple term is everything that encompasses a business. The administration of a business includes managing and monitoring absolutely everything to do with a business, from marketing, advertising to the hiring and the management of staff. So here we will see the some in short we will see the concept of business administration. Then what is business administration? The concept of business administration is the process of managing every different angle of a business so it can run, expand, grow, and succeed. Without business administration, all areas of the business would go unmonitored and would eventually break down. That is, in a business, there is usually a team or a department of business administrators. Okay, and their job is to monitor and manage every aspect of the business to ensure the business has its best chance of succeeding. In short, the concept of business administration is to oversee the running of the company and working to ensure the business is running to its best ability. Next, we will see the some importance of business administration. Business administration is of course very high. In order for a business to run properly and to be successful, or every aspect of the business needs to work. In order for this to take place, business administration should monitor, manage, and assess each elements of the business. That is, keeping records and analyzing each department information on a regular basis to ensure everything is running according to a plan. Then, business administrators usually are the ones to make large important business decisions, to which of course again exceptionally important. In short, a business would very likely fail without a good business administration team. Next is, here we covered the process of business administration. In that process, there are 5 functions, that is planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. Okay, this process of business administration is the overseeing and controlling of a business. This includes keeping a lots of records, monitoring and overseeing every department and staffing, and managing teams of employees. Then here we will see the in detail functions, that is planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. Then first of all, business administration management has been described as a social process involving responsibility for economical and effective planning. It's regulation of operation of an enterprise in the fulfillment of given purposes. It is a dynamic process consisting of various elements and activities. So these activities are different from cooperative functions like marketing, finance, purchase, HR, etc. Rather, these activities are common to each and every manner irrespective of its level or status. Then, different experts have classified functions of business administration. Then we will see what is defined by George and Jerry. They are called There are four fundamental functions of business administration, that is planning, organizing, actuating, and controlling. Then, according to Henry Fayol, to manage is to forecast and plan, to organize, to command, and to control. Whereas Luther Jelic has given a keyword, that is POSDCORB, where P stands for planning, O stands for organizing, S stands for staffing, D stands for directing, C stands for or CO for coordination, and R stands for reporting, and lastly B stands for budgeting. Okay, here one by one we will see what is planning. Okay, we all know that nothing should be happen without planning, or in every activity behind that, or whatever is planning is prepared to achieving something. It is the basic function of management. Okay, it deals with charting out a future course of action and deciding in advance the most appropriate course of action, that is for achievement of predetermined goals. Here Kuhn said that planning is deciding in advance what to do, when to do, and how to do. It bridges the gap from where we are and where we want to be. Then, a planning is a future course of action. It is an exercise in problem solving, decision making, etc. Then, planning is determination of courses of action to achieve desired goals. Thus, planning is a systematic thinking about ways and mean of accomplishment of predetermined goal. It is necessary to ensure proper utilization of human and non-human resources. It is all pervasive, it is an intellectual activity, and it is also help in avoiding confusion, uncertainties, risk, vestiges, etc. Second process or functions of business administration is organizing. It is a process of bringing together physical, financial, and human resources, and also developing productive relationship among them for achievement of organizational goals. So, according to Henry Fayol, the organizing is to organize a business is to provide it with everything useful or its functioning. That is raw materials, tools, capital, and personals. Personals means HR, human resource. Okay. To organize a business involves determining and providing human and non-human resources to the organizational structure. Then organizing as a process involved. In organizing, what are the process? That is identification of activities. First of all, we should identify what is activities of that business or that project. Second is classification of grouping of activities. Third is assignment of duties. Fourth is delegation of authority and creation of responsibility. And fifth is coordinating authority and responsibility relationships. Okay. Third process is staffing. We all know today all process for recruitment, selections of human resources in every company or every organization, it depends upon only on technology. It means through internet, or that is very easy to choose the right person for right job. It is a function of manning the organization structure and keeping it manned. It means staffing has assumed greater importance in the recent year due to advancement of technology, increase in size of business, complexity of human behavior, etc. The main purpose of staffing is to put right man on right job. That is square pegs in square holes and round pegs in round holes. Here, Coons and O'Donnell said about the staffing, that is managerial function of staffing involves manning the organization structure through proper and effective selection, appraisal, and development of personnel to fill the roles designed the structure. That is, in the staffing, some parts are involved. That is manpower planning. It means estimating manpower in terms of searching, choose the person and giving the right place. Next is recruitment, selection and placement. Next, training and development. It's also part of staffing. Remuneration. It is also involved in staffing function. Next is performance appraisal. And next is promotion and transfer. These all factors are involved in staffing. Next process is directing. It is that part of managerial function which actuates the organizational method to work efficiently for achievement of organizational purposes. It is considered life spark of the enterprise which sets it in motion the action of people because planning, organizing and staffing are the mere preparations for doing the job or work. Direction is that interpersonal aspect of management which deals directly with influencing, guiding, supervising, motivating to subordinates for the achievement of organizational goals. Here given the some elements which are included in directing function, that is supervision, motivation, leadership, communication. Okay. Supervision means it implies overseeing the work of subordinates by their superiors. It is the act of watching and directing work and workers. Motivation means inspiring, stimulating, or encouraging to the subordinates with zeal to work. That is positive, negative, monetary, non-monetary incentives may be used for this purpose. And next is leadership. It may be defined as a process by which manager guides and influences the work of subordinates in desired direction. And last is communication. It is the process of passing information, experience, opinion, etc. from one person to another person. It is a bridge of understanding. And last process or function is controlling. It implies measurement of accomplishment against the standards and correction of deviation, if any, to ensure achievement of organizational goals. The purpose of controlling is to ensure that everything occurs in conformities with the standards. An efficient system of control helps to predict deviations before they actually occur. Then, according to Theo Hammond, controlling is the process of checking whether or not proper progress is being made toward the objective and goals and acting, if necessary, to correct any deviation. Next definition given by Coons and O'Donnell, they called as controlling is the measurement and correction of performance activities of subordinates in order to make sure that the enterprise objectives and plans desired to obtain them as being accomplished. Therefore, controlling has a following steps. That is establishment of standard performance. Next is measurement of actual performance. Next step is comparison of actual performance with the standards and finding out deviation if any. And next is corrective action. That is the process of controlling. Now we see here the some principles of business administrations. There are 10 principles. One by one, we can see. First of all, we understand what is principles of business administration. That is implicit in the preceding decision or discussions are a number of fundamental principles that must be honored in order to deliver business results to customers and to satisfy the needs of the organization's other stakeholders. These principles underlie the methods of business operation and change. That is, understanding and living according to these principles will get managers and participants alike through some though debates about managing processes. Without the principles, team can easily get lost and distracted from the intent of the journey. What are these principles? First is business change must be performance driven. Second principle is business change must be stakeholder based. Third is business change decisions must be traceable to the stakeholders criteria. Next principle is the business must be segmented along a business process lines to synchronize change. Fifth principle is business processes must be managed holistically. Sixth principle is process renewal initiatives must inspire shared insight. Next is process renewal initiatives must be conducted from the outside in. Next is process renewal initiatives must be conducted in an interactive, time boxed approach, etc. Next principle is business change is all about people. And 10th and last principle is business change is a journey, not a destination. Okay. Here we covered the some of the concept, importance, process, and principles of business administration. Next is what is business management? Okay. We all know the business management is the coordination and organization of business activities. Hence, business managers oversee operations and help employees to reach their top productivity levels. That is, a business manager may also supervise to train new employee and help a business reach its operational and financial objectives. After that, we will see the difference between the business administration and business management. First of all, we understand that business management as an art and also it is as a science. Then management as an art. The artistic talents of the manager can be enriched by the uses of scientific tools. The artist in any manager definitely has an edge. His creativity and productivity also can be magnified by using the correct scientific methods. The art of management existed long before automation, that is, without doubt. The science had made the management easier. Next, success of managers depend on how effectively they can use the scientific aid to enhance their artistic skills. That is, management is no exception. Next is art is concerned with the partial knowledge and personal skill for doing out the desired results. In management, a manager should have a practical knowledge and skill. Otherwise, his performance will be adversely affected. Management is a way of doing a specific action, while doing the function of an art is to achieve the process in a given action. Then, according to George Terry, they called as art is a bringing about of a desired result through application of skill. Thus, art has five essential features, that is practical knowledge, personal skill, concentrate result, constructive skill, and improvement through practice. These five functions of art also belong to the management. When a manager uses his management skill, then he must have practical knowledge for solving managerial problem. A manager also have proper to face the problem to find out the results, which is only possible when he or she has constructive skills. Then to improve the managerial skill, managerial work should be done on regular basis. because regularity and practice make the work effective. So we can say that manager is an art since he or she possesses the skill of getting the work done through and with the people. Therefore, it can be concluded that manager is an artist and management is bound to be an art. Next is management as a science. We also know that sciences refers to an organized and systematic body of knowledge. And it is acquired by mankind through observation, experimentation, and also based on some universal principles, concepts, and theories. These principles of science are developed through testing and observation. With the help of concept of science, it can safely be concluded that management is also a science because it is based upon certain principle and certain as a systematic body of knowledge. Also, that is body of observation, test, and experiment is a science. Okay. Before trying to examine whether the management it is a science or not, we have to understand the nature of science. So, science may be described as a systemized body of knowledge pertaining to an act of study and contains some general truths explaining past events or phenomena. It is a systemized in the sense that relationship between variables and limit have been ascertained and underlying principle discovered. So here three important characteristics of science. That is, it is a systemized body of knowledge and uses scientific methods for observation. Second is its principles are evolved on the basis of continued observation and experiment. And next characteristic is its principles are exact and have universal applicability without any limitations. So student, here uh, business managements have also five core functions that constitute scope of management functions or the process of management. Previously, we see the that function that is also they are planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling. These are also functions or scope of management of the business management. In that concept, we just see in short what is planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling. We all know that functions, or we all know that these concepts also. Then what is planning? The first management function, that is the first of management function of management that managers must perform in planning. So, the guiding ideas in the making of mention item in the realization of the objectives and fulfillment, the mission and vision of the business entity. Actually, planning may be broadly defined as a concept of executive action that embodies the skills of anticipating, influencing, and controlling the nature and direction of change. Suppose each organization should make a good first. Okay, that is first step is a good plan because without it, the organization take a risk of mistakes and thus comprising their businesses. Second is organizing. Okay, organizing is the second function of manager. That is function of also business administration and also business management. Here, manager, where he had previously prepared a plan, establish an appropriate organizational structure in business organization. In part, it determines the range of management, type of organizational structure, authority in the organization, types and ways of delegating and developing lines of communication. So, in short, the organization and its subsystems are placed under the plan. That is, first scope is planning or first function is planning. Its function, that is organizing function, is depends upon the planning function. So its subsystems are placed under the plan which was created as a part of functions, that is organizing or planning. Organizing basically involves analysis of activities to be performed for achieving organizational objectives, grouping them into various departments and sections so that this can be assigned to various individuals and delegating them appropriate authority so that they can carry their work properly. Okay. Next scope is staffing. It consists of a selection of appropriate staff for the organization to reach a goal or goals easier and more efficient. According to today's experience, is well known that it is difficult to financially evaluate quality and efficient staff. Then staff is one of the more valuable, if not the most valuable resource in any successful organization. For this reason, good planning of personal policies as a function of management. Here, one thing is noticed that staffing is also depend on planning. It means all the scopes of business management or business administrations or other functions of business management, that is all dependent on planning. For this reason, good planning of personal policies as a function of management and corresponding execution of that selection of high quality people is becoming increasingly important. These may require a number of functions. It means in staffing function, there are number of functions included, that is manpower planning, recruitment, selection, training and development, performance appraisal, promotion transfer, etc. are the functions of staffing. The responsibility for staffing. Am I audible to all?
Yes, madam. Yes, madam. Madam, go ahead. Madam. हो हो ऐकायला येतं मॅडम.
One second.
Madam, we are audible. No problem. You go ahead.
So, the responsibility for staffing rests on all managers at all level of the organization. It increases as one goes up in the organizational hierarchy. It means in order to facilitate the effective performance of staffing, that is personal department is created in large organization. Next is directing or direction. It is an important managerial function through which management initiates action in the organization. And last is controlling. Control, uh, we all know the control is any process that guides activity towards some predetermined goals. It can be applied in any field such as price control, distribution control, pollution control, etc. And that is element of management process and is defined as the process of analyzing whether actions are being taken as planned and taking corrective action to make this to conform to planning. It means, in short, the control process tries to find out deviations between planned performance and actual performance and to suggest corrective action wherever these are needed. Okay. Then controlling is a forward looking function as one can control the future happenings and not the past. So every manager has to perform the control function in the every organization. It is a continuous process and also control system is a coordinate integrated system. Next is Here we covered the differences in the business administration and business management. But uh, first of all, we see the management can be understood as the skill of getting the work done from others. Okay, it is not exactly same as administration, which alluded to the process of effective administrating the entire organization. Hmm. The most important point that differs management from the administration is that the former is concerned with directing or guiding the operations of the organization, whereas the latter stresses on laying down the policies and establishing the objectives of the organization. Broadly speaking, that is, the management takes into account the directing and controlling function, and whereas administration is related to only planning and organizing function. Here are some differences, that is distribute or it is comparison between meaning, authority, their roles concerned with areas of operation applicable to or decides work, focus on, key person, represents and function. uh, Basis for comparison of meaning, that is management is an organized way of managing people and things of a business organization is called the management, and the administration is the process of administrating an organization by a group of people is known as the administration. Second is authority, that is it is a basis for comparison, that is authority. Okay, management is on middle and lower level and administration is on only top level. So what are the roles, that is in management, that is the executive role, and administration there is a decisions role. Management concerned with policy implementation and administration concerned with policy formulation. Next is area of operation. Management works under administration, and administration it has full control over the activities of the organization. So management is applicable to profit making organizations, that is business organization, and administration applicable to government offices, military, clubs, business enterprises, hospitals, religious and educational organization, etc. Okay, management decides who will do the work and how will it be done, and administration decides what should be done and when it should be done. What are the work of management, that is putting plans and policies into action, and administration work is formulation of plans, framing policies and setting objectives. Management focused on managing work and administration work focused on making best possible allocation of limited resources. In that management, there are key person. In management, manager is the key person, and administration there is an administrator, that is key person of the administration. Management represents employees who work for remuneration, and administration represents owners who get a return on the capital invested by them. And management function, that is executive and governing, and administration is legislation and determinative. Okay, here we covered just differences between management, business management and business administration. Next is what is business unit, their characteristics, there are basic components. We will see in one by one and in detail. And last part of this unit is forms of business organization. In your syllabus, there are 5 forms of business organization. We will see it in detail. So first of all, we will see the what is a business unit. A business unit is a separate division within a company that often develops and implements its own processes independently from the core business or brand while still adhering to the overall company policies. Typically, large brands adopt this kind of structure to better organization and track metrics like revenue or cost for each division of that business unit or that business plan. Okay, having a structured business unit allows each unit to manage its own profits and costs, which can help companies monitor and reduce their overall costs associated with various department functions. Then, what are that department functions? That is also depends on planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. Okay. Next is business units determine which part of the core enterprise strategy the unit of division will contribute to directly and then formulates a unit or division strategy with their own supporting priorities. These where the division strategy intersects with the enterprise strategy. Also, it creates a strategy within the company's larger strategy. Then, business unit leaders are responsible for communicating a clear direction for the department or their teams or maybe individuals, as well as ensuring their functions adapt and evolve in a dynamic business environment. So, here are some characteristics which are related to business unit. It means also business plan. Huh? Business units have unique characteristics that help set them apart from other business structures, such as autonomous planning. Then autonomous planning means that is help to the business units benefit from autonomous planning, which allows them to plan for business organizations or business operations like expansion, new products, and their marketing. While the business unit still report to the core business, it can operate as a separate division using a different name. For example, if an electronic manufacturer produce washing machine, okay, televisions or phones, each product might exist under a business unit to separate them into more manageable entities. Second characteristic is unique competitors. That is, business units typically have their own competitors in their respective markets. This allows for unique competition, which can help inspire product innovation and marketing techniques that exist outside of the core company's methods. Then, for example, the same electronic brand might have unique competition in the mobile phone market that is prompting it to develop a faster, more efficient mobile phone. It means to maintain its status in the industry. Okay, its core company might observe, see, this innovation must, it may rarely take a part in the daily operation. Next characteristic is independent revenue and cost tracking. Business units typically track their cost and revenue separately from the parent company. This can help the parent company account for its revenues from various products or services without combining them into one taxable entity. It means we will see here the one example, a vehicle manufacturer might discontinue a particular brand of automobile. If after completing an assignment or assessment, the sales for that business unit didn't reach its goals. Next characteristic is unique mission or values. That is, business units sometimes have their own unique missions or values, which can help to create a broader consumer base for the primary company. Having a distinct objective allows each unit to focus on their specific demographic and provide products and services that align with their all customers. Okay, for example, an oil company might create different business unit to launch its sustainability and environmental care division in order to focus on climate change and consumers in that market. Okay. Next is independent from other business units. There are some companies have several business units that is operating at once, but these units typically operate separately from one another. This helps to keep the units autonomy while still connecting them to the core business. For example, we take one clothing manufacturer. It might have several brand names under the core company, but each business unit produces a different type or style of clothing for different market. Next characteristic is unit managers still report to the core company. Each business unit operates separately from the core company, but a unit manager still report to the core company's executive team. The unit manager oversees the production and maintenance of that business unit, and helps it reach objectives and embody company values. For example, a food manufacturer, it might produce several soda brands like Coca-Cola, Miranda, 7-Up, like each with its own separate business unit. But a unit manager leads each brand in independently from the other, but still answer to the core company's executive team to ensure there are meeting goals and exceptions. Okay. Now we will see some basic components of business unit or business plan. So, whether you are planning to open a shop that makes the best coffee, or you want to sell eco-friendly office supplies, you will need to explain why your business is necessary and how it will differ from its competitors or our competitors. That's where your business plan comes in. It provides investors, lenders, and potential partners with an understanding of your company structure and goals. But if you want to gain the financial autonomy to run a business, that a coffee business, or become an entrepreneur, a financial advisor can help align your finances. So here we cover some basic components which are necessary in every business unit or every or preparing a business plan. That is, first is executive summary. Then your executive summary should appear first in your business plan. It should summarize what you expect your business to accomplish, since it's meant to highlight what you intend to discuss in the rest of the plan. The Small Business Administration suggests that you write this section last. Then a good executive summary is a compelling. It reveals the company's mission statement along with a short description of its products and services. It might also be a good idea to briefly explain why you are starting your company and include details about your experience in the industry that you are entering. Second component is company description. A company description includes key information about your business, that is, goals, vision, mission, and your company's target or target customers that you want to serve. This is where you explain why your company stands out from other competitors in the industry and break down its strength. Include how it offers solution for customers and the competitive advantages that will give your business an edge to succeed. Next component is market analysis. Key understanding. There is where you show that you have a key understanding of the ins and outs of the industry and the specific market you plan to enter. Here, you will substantiate the strengths that you highlighted in your company description with your data and statistics that break down industry trends and themes so that other data statistics or businesses are doing and how they are succeeding or failure. Your market analysis should also help visualize your target customer. This includes how much money they make, what their buying habits are, and which services they want and need. Also, we help to visualize among the other target customer preferences. Then, above all, these all the numbers should help answer why your business can do it better. Next is competitive analysis. Okay, that is next component. A good business plan will present a clear comparison of your business versus your direct and indirect competitors. This is where you prove your knowledge of the industry by breaking down their strengths and weaknesses. Your end goal is show how your business will stack up and if there are any issues that could prevent you from jumping into the market like high upfront cost. This is where you will need to be forthcoming. That is, your competitor analysis will go in your market analysis section. Next is description of management and organization. Your business must also outline how your organization is set up or introduce your company managers here and summarize their skills and primary job responsibilities. And effective may could be to create a diagram that maps out your clean chain of command. Okay, next component is breakdown of your products and services. That is, while your company description is an overview, then a detailed breakdown of your products and services is intended to give a complementary but fuller description about the product that you are creating and selling, how long they could last, and how they will meet existing demand. This is where you should mention your suppliers as well as other key information about how much it will cost to make your product and how much money you are hoping to bring it. Okay. You should also list here all relevant information pertaining to patent and copyright concerns as well. Next is marketing plan. This is where you describe how you intend to get your product and services in front of your target customers. Breakdown here the steps that you will take a prompt your product and the budget that you will need to implement your strategies. Next component is sales strategy. This section should answer how you will sell the product that you are building or carry out the services that you intend to offer. So, your sales strategy must be specific. So, break down how many sales responsibilities or respectively you will need to hire and how you will recruit them and bring them on board. Make sure to include your sales target as well. Then next component is a request for funding. That is very important part. If you need funding, this section focuses on the amount of money that you need to set up your business and how you plan to use the capital that you are raising. It means you might want to include a timeline here for additional funding that you may require to complete other important projects. Next component is finance. Next and last component is financial projections. This final section breaks down the financial goals and expectations that you have set based on the market research. You will report your anticipated revenue that for the first 12 months and your annual projected earnings for the second, third, fourth, and fifth year of the business. Suppose if you are trying to apply for a personal loan or a small business loan, then you can always add an appendix or another section that provides additional financial or background information. So every company is different. So your business plan might look nothing like another entrepreneurs. We should have the different plans to another organizations or another products or another companies. Okay. Next and last part of this session is forms of business organization. So, if one is planning to start a business, okay, or it is interested in expanding an existing one, an important decision relates to the choice of the form of organization. The most appropriate form is determined by weighting and advantages and disadvantages of each type of organization. That is against one's own requirements. There are various forms of business organizations, that is sole proprietorship, sales trader, joint Hindu family business, partnership firm, registered companies, public sector undertaking. Next is cooperative societies or organization, and joint stock company, etc. But in our syllabus there is only 5 forms are given, so we'll cover these in detail. First of all, what is sales trader? What is that concept? Then it manages a book of risk themselves while also interacting directly with clients. Generally, sales traders deals with less complex types of product within an asset. For example, a vanilla interest rate also, that for all client, while dedicated traders on the same days will handle more complex or larger trades. As the name implies, sell traders are required to wear a multiple hats. In year, in last year or in past years, traders exclusively managed risk, while sales people executively manage a client relationship. So, a client who wanted to do a trade, say an equity derivative trade, would call up the sell person they know on the equity derivative desk and ask for a price on the product they are looking to trade. Then salesperson would ask the trader. The trader, it means sales trader, would give a price and the salesperson would communicate that price to the client. That is who either accepted it or rejected it or said they had all called back to confirm. Okay. To be clear, the vast majority of traders or people on the floor are still either traders who have minimal interaction on the job with clients or salespeople. However, over the past 10 years, it's been recognized that for some types of smaller and less complex trades, there's no need to have a dedicated salespeople and a trader. Instead of that, a sale trader will talk with a group of clients that they cover throughout throughout the day. That is on a boomerang and also by on phone. Clients will then tell the sales trader what they want to do, and if it's within their purview, the sales trader can give them a price and execute the trade right away. Then, however, if the trade is a bit larger or more complex, they may interface with a trader. And if the trade is done, The trader will likely be the one placing the risk on their own book. Next form of business organization, that is partnership firm. In partnerships, the handling of operations is by partners who have agreed on the role and share it profit. The functions, duties, powers, and numbers of shares held are all clearly defined in a verbal contract known as the partnership deed. These businesses fall under the purview of the Indian Partnership Act of 1932. This act says the partnership is the relation between persons who have agreed to share the profit of a business on by all or any of them acting for all. So, partnership firm can function with or without a license as long as they have a valid and registered partnership deed. That is, however, most partnerships do register as it gives them additional rights and benefits. The eligibility criteria to form a partnership are minimum of 2 and maximum of fewer than 10 partners. Next is must have a registered office address within India. And third is must have a registered partnership deed signed by all partners. Okay, in short, when two or more people come together and pool funds to start a business, it's known as a partnership firm. The primary aim of partnership firm is to only earn the profit. Okay, partnership firm in the country are bound by the laws that is defined under the Indian Partnership Act 1932. Actually, according to Section 4 of the Partnership Act, partnership is the relation between persons who have agreed to share the profits of a business carried on by all or any other acting for all. Then, people who enter into partnership with one or another to start a business are individually called as partners and are collectively a firm. The name they give to their business to carry on operations is called the firm name or their organization name according to the Indian Partnership Act. Then here we covered some types of partnership firm. That is the first is partnership at will, second is particular partnership, and third is limited liability partnership. Then what is partnership at will? At the time of forming a partnership firm, all the partners mutually agree on the tenure of the partnership. Okay. If they wish, they can also extend the tenure when the date of closure approaches. But all of this has to be decided beforehand. When a partnership firm is created without deciding any specific time limit of its partnership, it is called as partnership at will. In a partnership at will, individual partners can mutually decide at a later date when to dissolve the partnership if the need arises. In such a partnership, the profit earned by the firm is considered as the individual partner's income. So each partner pays tax on such an income and they are all responsible to clear the company's debt. Next is particular partnership. According to Indian Partnership Act, particular partnership is a form when the partner mutually decide on a specific date to end the partnership. Okay, instead of that, they can also decide to dissolve the partnership when the specific objective of the partnership is achieved. Then a particular partnership firm is a temporary in nature and is usually created to carry out a project. However, the partners are free to extend the dissolution date of that partnership. Example of such partnership are making a feature film, working on a government project, etc. Okay, in a particular partnership, there are liabilities of the company how to be borne by individual partners. They might have to dip into their personal assets and saving to clear the company's debt. And next type is limited liability partnership. A firm formed as a limited liability partnership, that is LLP, is governed by the Limited Liability Partnership Act 2008. Unlike the earlier two types of partnership, or LLP, work as a corporate organization. In an LLP, that is limited liability partnership, partners have limited liability, which is determined by their investment in their company. Partners in an LLP are not legally bound to put their personal assets at stake to clear the company's debt. Uh, there are some different types of partners. That is, while forming a partnership, a different type of partners come together and bring a very varied number of skills and experiences to the table. Hmm. Based on their role and how they want to be associated with the partnership firm, they can be characterized into 8 different types. That is, first is active partner. Their role is an active partner is involved in the day-to-day business operations. Next partner is dormant partner. A dormant partner is not involved in the day-to-day operation. Third is nominal partner. Such a partner neither invest money nor takes active participation in the business. That is, nominal partner are simply the face of the company to add goodwill to the firm. Next type of partner is partner by estoppel, that is holding out. It means its role is when a person, either verbal or in written form, tells a client he or she is a partner and receives create or credit some other favor, he or she will be legally considered as a partner by estoppel. Next is sub partner. Uh, their role are when a partner shares his or her profit with a person outside the firm, the latter becomes a sub partner. Next is minor partner. That is, a partner who is less than 18 years of age is called a minor partner. He or she cannot file any legal suit against that other partners. Next is partner in profit only. Partner in profit become a partner with the agreement of all partners that he or she will not be liable to losses of the firms. And last is secret partner. What is secret partner? That is, he is or she is invest money in the business and has a say in the day-to-day operation. However, he or she keeps their identity a secret and doesn't want anyone to know of their association with the firm. Okay. Some of the features of partnership firm are contract or agreement. Next is for profit business. Next is business operation. Okay. Then what is contract or agreement? The first and foremost requirement of partnership firm is that there must be a contract or an agreement among the partners to start a partnership company. This contract among the partners is what distinguishes such as a firm from a family business. In the event of the death of one of the partners, their next of kin doesn't automatically become a partner unless stipulated in the contract. Next feature is for profit business. There is earning a profit must be the core objective of running a partnership firm. A partnership firm should have product or services that can reap profits for the partners. If two or more people start a non-profit organization, okay, it will not be considered as a partnership firm. Moreover, the profit earned by a partnership firm should be shared among the partners as determined by the contract. And last feature is business operation. So every partner in a partnership firm has the right to carry out business decisions. for the benefit of the company as well as for individual partners. Okay, the Partnership Act says a mutual agency among the partners is necessary, empowering every partner to make decisions for himself and on behalf of others. Next form of business organization is registered company. Any business or any enterprise must register legally under the Companies Act of 2013. There are total of 7 types of company registration in India. Due to several options, it's overwhelming to choose the right kind of company registration. That is how we have come up with a detailed list of company registration and their application process to make your company registration process effortless. In short, there are 7 types of company registration in India. Okay, first is private limited company, second is public limited company, third is partnership company, limited liability partnership, next is one person company, next is sole proprietorship, and seventh is Section 8 company. In that 7 types, all organizations have to register their company with choosing uh, one company registration. Okay. Next is public sector undertaking. That is PSU. Means PSU. Public sector undertakings are government owned establishment which are established and owned by the government of India or state governments of India. Okay. The public sector undertakings are like established either by nationalization or an executive order in case of union government and state government, or act of parliament in case of union government and state legislation in case that state government with the purpose to earn a profit for the government. It means control monopoly of the private sector entities, offer products and services at an affordable price to the citizens and for the achievement of overall financial goals and developmental objectives in the country. PSU म्हणजे public sector undertakings are also called as government owned enterprises or government owned corporations or statutory corporations or nationalized corporation. Also, these organizations are wholly or partly owned by the government of India. Then central public sector undertaking are wholly or partly owned by the government of India, while state public sector undertakings are wholly or partly owned by state or territorial governments. Okay. Next is the public sector undertakings are headed by the head of board of directors, also known as a chairperson, come managing director, come chief executive officer, and a vice chairperson, come deputy managing director, come co-chief executive officer, along with the members of the board of directors, also known as a executive director or C-level executive who are group A gazetted officers. Okay, that is appointed by the President of India in case of central public sector undertakings, its subsidiaries, and its division, and appointed by the Governor of State of India in case of state public sector undertakings, its subsidiaries, and its divisions. Okay. These are officers and employees working for only public sector undertaking. That is subsidiaries of public sector undertaking and division of public sector undertakings are also classified as a gazetted officer and full-fledged government employee. That is, all of the public sector undertakings have been awarded additional financial autonomy. Then, public sector undertakings are government establishments that have comparative advantages, giving them greater autonomy to compete in the global market so as to support in their drive to become global giants. That is, financial autonomy was initially awarded to 9 PSU public sector undertakings as Navratna status is 1999. It is originally the term Navratna means a talisman composed of 9 precious gems. Later, this term was adopted in the courts of the Gupta Emperor Vikramaditya and Mughal Emperor Akbar as the collecting name for 9 extraordinary courtesy at their respective courtrooms. And then last form of business cooperation or business organization is cooperative organization or cooperative societies. Then what is cooperative organization? Then the International Labour Organization have defined cooperative organization. That is, a cooperative organization is an association of persons, usually of limited means, who have voluntarily joined together to achieve a common economic end through the formation of a democratically controlled organization. That is, making equitable distributions to the capital required and accepting a fair share of risk and benefits of the undertaking. So, the word cooperation stands for the idea of living together and working together. So, cooperation is a form of business organization, the only system of voluntary organization that is suitable for poor people. It is an organization wherein person voluntarily association together as a human beings on the basis of equality for the promotion of economic interests and themselves. The cooperative movement has three objectives, that is better living, better business and better framing. So cooperative organization that is always prefer a service instead of profit maximization, survival of the weakest instead of survival of the fittest, then self-help and self-reliance instead of dependence on external bodies. Next, development of moral character of members that instead of emphasis on pure material development. There are some characteristics of a cooperative organization. That is, first is a voluntary association. Okay, a cooperative society is a voluntary association of persons and not of capital. Any person. So, any person can join a cooperative society of his free will and can leave it at any time. Okay, when he leaves or she leaves, he can withdraw or she can withdraw his or her capital from that society. He cannot transfer his share to another person. The voluntary character of the cooperative association has two implications. That is, none will be denied the right to become a member, and the cooperative society will not compete anybody to become a member. Next characteristic is the spirit of cooperation. The spirit of cooperation works under the motto each for all and all for each. That is the motto of that cooperation or any organization. This means that every member of cooperative organization shall work in the general interest or the organization as a whole and not for his self-interest. Then under cooperation, service is of supreme importance and self-interest is of secondary importance. Third is democratic management. So, an individual member is considered not as a capitalist but as a human being. And under cooperation, economic equality is fully ensured by a general rule. One man, one vote. That is, whether one contributes 50 rupees or 10 rupees a share capital as a share capital or full enjoy equally rights and equal duties. That is, a person having only one share can even become the president of cooperative society. Next characteristic is capital. That is, cooperative society is raised from members through share capital, their share capital, and cooperative are formed by a relative poorer sections of society. That is, share capital is usually very limited since it is a part of government or it is a part of government policies to encourage cooperatives. A cooperative society can increase its capital by taking loans from the state and central cooperative banks. Next characteristic is fixed return on capital. That is, in a cooperative organization, we do not have the dividend hunting element. It means in a consumer's cooperative store, return on capital is fixed and it is usually not more than 12% per annum. The surplus profit are distributed in the form of bonus, but it is directly connected with the amount of purchases by the member in 1 year. Next is cash sales. In a cooperative organization, cash and carry system is a universal feature. Okay. In the absence of adequate capital, a grant of credit is not possible. So cash sales also avoided risk of loss due to bad debts, and it would also encourage the habit of theft among the members. Next characteristic is moral emphasis. Then cooperative organization generally originates in the poorer section of population. Hence, more emphasis is laid on the development of moral character of the individual member. The absence of capital is compensated by honesty, integrity, and also loyalty. So, under cooperation, honesty is regarded as the best security. Thus, cooperation prepares a band of honest and selfless workers for the good of humanity. So, last characteristic is corporate status. So, cooperative association has to be registered under the separate legislation, that is Cooperative Societies Act. Every society must have at least 10 members. Okay, registration is desirable also, but it gives a separate legal status to all cooperative organizations, just like a company, an institution, or an organization. It also gives exemption and privileges under the Act. Okay, there are some types of cooperative. This is the last part of that session. Cooperative may be formed in all walks of life. Some of them are concerned with the moral and social uplift of a weak section of the people, while many of them combine some business activity with service to members. There are five types. First is cooperative credit society. Next is consumers cooperative society. Third is producers cooperative. Fourth is housing cooperative, and last is cooperative farming society. Then what is cooperative credit society? That are voluntary associations of people with moderate means formed with the object of extending short-term financial accommodation to them and developing the habit of thrift among them. Next is consumers cooperative society. That is Rothschild pioneers who were mainly bears set an example by collective purchasing and distribution of consumers goods at bazaar rate and for cash price and by declaration of bonus at the end of the year on the purchase made. Their example has brought resolution for the in the purpose of purchase and sale of consumer goods by eliminating profit motive and and it introducing in its place service motive in India. Or in India, consumers cooperative have received impetus from the government exams to check rise in price of consumer goods. Okay. Third is producers cooperative. It is said that the birth of producers cooperative took place in France in the middle of 19th century, but it did not make satisfactory progress. Means also known as a This also known as the industrial cooperatives are voluntary associations of small producers formed with the object of eliminating the capitalist class from the system of industrial production. These societies produce goods for meeting the requirement of consumers. Sometimes their production may be sold out to outsiders at a profit. Fourth type is housing cooperative. That is formed by persons who are interested in making houses of their own. So societies are formed mostly in urban areas. Through these societies, persons who want to have their own houses secure financial assistance. And last type is cooperative farming societies. The cooperative farming societies are basically agricultural cooperative form for the purpose of achieving the benefits of large scale farming and maximizing agriculture output. So such societies are encouraged in India to become the difficulties of subdivision and fragmentation of holding in the century or country. Okay, thank you. Here we will cover this first session. What is on business administration, business management, business unit, forms of business organization. So I will share this PDF on your group. So if you have any queries, please ask me. Otherwise, we will stop here. Yes, thank you. So should we stop here?
मॅडम
हा सर.
झाले का लेक्चर?
हो झाले.
मग कोणी काही प्रश्न विचारले नसतील मग आपण एंड करूया.
नाही कोणाला काही शंका नाही असं वाटते. मी विचारलो होतो, कोणाला डाऊट असतील तर विचारा.
ओके थँक्यू मॅडम.
ठीक आहे. येस
अजून एक सेशन असतील असं आम्हाला सर्टिफिकेट कोर्स साठी.
येस सर.
छान सेशन झाला मॅडम. रेकॉर्डिंग पाठवतो मी.
येस सर. ओके. थँक्यू सर.